Welcome in. We've made it week 13. Injuries continue to pile up. Man, it is rough out there. You're also outside of injuries, clearly missing all your Bills, all your Bears, all your Giants, all your Raiders, Ravens, and Vikings. Yikes. Talk about a rough week, guys. I'm super sorry that this is just happening. It feels like a really just impossible time in fantasy. I'm struggling. Also, you probably more than likely face or have, if you're lucky one, you had Lamb or DK Metcalf or JSN. There's just so many options there. It's crazy that went off on Thursday and really just started you fresh. So if you're lucky enough to have that, congrats. Otherwise, well, guess you're rolling with me because I faced all of them pretty much. Faced DK, CD, and who was the other? Oh, and Charbonnet. So I'm like 100, maybe Dak. I was like 117-0 with 4 of their players are having played on Thursday. So super excited. In any case, again, a lot of injuries. But if you have some injuries and you're worried about them, I do like Greg Dortch a lot today. I think that's a good option. Another one that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm not 100% sold on, but Joe Flacco and Elijah Moore have the connection from being at the Jets at the same time. Could be something to watch. And then thought I had one more that I was really excited about. Yeah, my brain's fried. Let's see. Way too early, guys. That's what this is kind of turned into. Outside of that, Jonathan Mingo's another good one. But the one, Curtis Samuel. That's the other one. I do like Jaden Reed, but he is dealing with injury, so I'm a little more skeptical on that one. But Curtis Samuel is another really good flex for you, probably widely available. They're going to have to throw and try and keep up, and he's probably one of the safer options. So, hey, Luke, welcome in. First question of the day, Warren or Javonte over Etienne? I like Warren a lot, so I'm fine playing him over Etienne. I know it's, again, my issue is more on the fact that I'm just nervous about Etienne's health. Did miss most of the week, but did practice on Friday. Warren, I'm curious about how that scheme works with him. Since the Steelers did change it, I'm kind of nervous, but he seemed to get a lot of usage, so it's close. Between Warren and Etienne, those are the two. Javonte, no, it's not even close. He's way outside of both of them, but it's hard to get away from how well Warren's been playing. I mean, dude just continues to catch passes and have really explosive plays. Hey, good morning, Polo. It's been a minute. Full PPR, start one. Trevor Lawrence or Howell. Again, depends on what your situation is. Howell is definitely the upside play. I'm just nervous on it because he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks along with it. It really just, you have to hope that he throws some touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence is the safe play, but again, if Etienne's healthy, I'm a little nervous that the running back at least steals 1 touchdown away from him. But I think Trevor Lawrence is definitely the safer option. So, all right, Luke, let's see. Pick one. Sutton, Higgins, or Downs. Again, depends on what you need. Downs is definitely the safe play here. Dude, we talked about it on Thursday, continues to see a bunch of targets and is putting up double-digit fantasy points or close to. However, Sutton should see the end zone, has a lot of opportunities here, has the skill set to actually be the one that has a big day today. So I'm very curious on that one. So if you're chasing the upside, I'm going Sutton, but I'm actually completely off of pretty much every Bengal at this point because it's scary. Welcome in, Shane. God, I love the picture. All right. It's the Chiefs for me. The Rams are fine. They have a good matchup, but Chiefs have just been playing so well. I know they had a little hiccup last week, but I think they get back on track this week with their matchup. J-Lip, welcome in. All right, need to start 2 in full PPR. Achan, Singletary, Javante. It's the first 2. Like I said, I'm super nervous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm scared of Achan too. There's a lot of worry there, but I still think in the matchup, all he needs is like 3 or 4 carries and can easily score or have a big day. That Washington run defense, especially, is rough. Worried about Javante just because of the strong front 7 that he's going to be facing. What really actually, sorry, guys. What it really actually hurts Javante is the fact that the Texans have a poor passing defense. So it's similar to the Bucks. So if you get past 2, if Williams actually gets the checkdowns, great play. But it's part of why I like P. Ryan so much, is because he's the one who's been seeing those targets. Now, if Javante sees them, that's going to be a great play. But it's just hard to trust in that. So I'd rather go with Achan in the upside. Hey, Tamara, you made it in early. I need to pick up a tight end to replace Schultz. Ooh. Of them, I'm probably going to go Hudson. Again, backup QB. They usually gravitate to the big guys in the center. I think Hudson's that guy. If you're looking for another one, I also like Kraft. But he might have already been grabbed up. So both of them I have back-to-back in my rankings. So I think you're good with either. Benny, welcome. McBride or Brevin Jordan? Oh, man. I can't trust Jordan. I've been there too many times and seen it too often. So I'd rather just hope McBride plays and roll with it. It's terrifying. Kush, welcome. Bench 1.5. I'm probably going to go with Johnson just because we're not 100% sure on Etienne. If Etienne's out, it could be a great play, but I'd much rather chase the upside with Moore and Perry. Granted, Perry isn't super, but Shaheed is out. They have to have somebody else there. Hey, Mike, welcome in. Garrett, Wilson, and Rice. Oh, my gosh. I have them back-to-back. I'm leaning Rice just because the weather's a little better in Kansas or in Green Bay than it is in New York. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of either right now. I think Rice has more upside, which is normally what I chase at this point because why not? Watson or Dortch. Like I've been saying, Chiefs defense is actually pretty good. I'm nervous for both Watson and Dobbs, which is why I like Reed and Kraft so much, is the fact that they are the underneath targets. So I'm gonna go Dortch. I think there's a lot of opportunity. He's one of my favorite streamers this week. Ham and Egger, you made it. Kyler Murray, Jordan Love. I'm gonna go Murray because of the rushing, and kind of saw it last week. He started to get on track with Hollywood, and if they can really start to light it up and open up that offense, and he starts to run again, it's going to be tough to stop him. He's going to be a much safer floor. That, and I just hate the matchup for Love. Keep it G, welcome. Wide receiver 3, McLaurin or Godwin. Godwin's been dealing with an injury, so I'm going to go McLaurin here. I am nervous, but again, a lot of upside and potential shootout in that game, so that's how I'm going. Austin, welcome in. Fryermuth or Taysom Hill. This is tough. I'm going to go Fryermuth again, mostly because Steelers started to throw it into the middle of the field for that scheme. So I'm kind of curious to see how that works out. But that, and I'm just terrified of Hill. That dude is either a 0 or a 30. And so this could be the 30 week, but it's really tough to trust pretty much anybody outside of Olave and Kamara at this point. And even Olave, I'm iffy on because he has been dealing with injury most of the week. So hopefully that helps. Vaughn, welcome. Stevenson or Ridley? It's tough. Kind of. I think I'm going to chase the upside here and go with Ridley. The Chargers' run defense has been decent. Again, the issue is a big explosive play, which Stevenson can do, but we haven't seen a whole lot of it this year. I do like the fact that I think I saw that Elliott was out. Let me double check. But I'm pretty sure I saw that Elliott was sidelined this week. Oh, maybe not. He's good to go, which also takes away from Stevenson. So I'm going to go Ridley, more upside. And honestly, I'd probably play Stevenson over Montgomery, just because I'm nervous that he doesn't get that usage this week, just because of the matchup. I think that Gibbs is more likely the one to score, but all good. Yeah, yo, mama, welcome. Happy to see you back. I'm going to go Pacheco here. Love the matchup for him, and the fact that McKinnon's out, he continues to see a good amount of work. Oh, Bradley. This is tough. I think I go Hal because, again, the upside's there. I know it's terrifying, but dude has continually had good weeks, even with poor performances when it comes to actually the team in true NFL. But Fantasy's been pretty good because somehow he runs and scores touchdowns. So, and then I have Moss ranked higher, but honestly, they're both really good options. I like them both a lot this week. Think give you a real safe floor. J-Lip, welcome. Let's see. Another one, huh? Yeah, I agree. It's pretty. I absolutely hate the matchup for Herbert. Super nervous on this game. It's also not the greatest weather, which I don't love, but just how it goes. So, also want the shootout potential for Purdy. Hey, Daniel made it back. All right, pick 2. Fort, Thielen, Collins, McBride, Johnston. It's going to be the Ford and Thielen for me. Again, my worry is that they try and take away Collins. He'll see Surtain a lot today. Assuming that it's going to be between him and Dell most of the day. But I trust Ford and Thielen. I think Thielen actually has a pretty good matchup if they decide to throw to him, which seemed like they started to last week, so we'll see. All right. Yes, I play both of them over him. Dortch is probably the safer play, but Samuel has more upside, so I'm fine with either over Mixon. Curious on which Brown. If it's Hollywood, I'm fine doing that. He has more upside, but if you want the safe floor, I'd roll Chase out. Really just depends on that tomorrow. Tamara. Paul, welcome. Curtis Samuel or Amari Cooper. I actually really like Cooper with Flacco. I think there's a lot of upside potential there, but again, the Washington Commanders are going to be chasing points against the Dolphins, so I think there's a lot of upside for Samuel. I have Cooper ranked higher currently, though. You're welcome. Happy to help. All right. Man, I still think I lean Thielen here, but Kirk has been so consistent out of like what 1 or 2 weeks, constantly putting up the good numbers. Thielen has really been a roller coaster. So again, depends on what you need. I would be rolling Thielen, but again, I just think it's due to matchup. So have him ranked higher. Joseph, welcome. Jalen Warren or Najee Harris. Again, when it comes to players on the same team, I always go with the more explosive one. So I'm going to lean Warren, but both of them have, I think I have them both ranked similarly, like almost back to back. With let's see, I have Warren at 19 and Harris at 23 in PPR, but it's because I think Warren sees more targets, which kind of boosts him up and has that big playability. So I think both of them have a good week this week. I really don't think you go wrong. Yeah, again, I'd play Stevenson over Montgomery, but I'm fine rolling. I prefer Ridley because I think it's a safer play, but Stevenson has more upside. Because if he's using the passing game, that's kind of the weakness of the Chargers. So could be a big boost. Oh, love the logo. All right, Z head trick, PPR flex. I'm going to go Moss here. Last time they played, he put up 150 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Titans. When he had the full workload, should happen again. I wouldn't expect that same outcome. I have him at 100 rushing or scrimmage, 100 scrimmage yards with 3 receptions and a touchdown. So gets you a decent day. I like Ridley a lot in his matchup, but it's just so hit or miss and hard to trust that offense for the Jags because hopefully they continue to work, but who actually knows? That's such a coin flip over there. All right, Hammenegger, sit one, huh? It's probably going to be Johnson just because I'm scared of the new offensive scheme. Theoretically, it should work to his advantage, but last week it clearly didn't. And I'm curious to see if they try and work out Pickens and see what he has. I'd much rather go with the concentrated targets of Wilson or Rice, which also it's hard to trust Rice. Rough. Okay, Chris. PPR, Dortch or Judy, and Browning or Downs. It's going to be Dortch and then Downs. I'm absolutely terrified of the Bengals offense. I'm very curious to see how it works with Higgins coming back, but I'm still nervous on it. And this isn't an ideal matchup for him either. So it's also a little more off-putting than you want it to be. So worried the Jaguars are going to get after Browning pretty hard. All right, Mike, let's see. Half point flex, need one. Oh, it's going to be Harris. Take the easy points here. The Broncos defense actually been really good, so I'd go with the guy that I know has put up decent number. And if it was a full PPR, I'd probably actually lean Singletary. With the fact that Schultz is out, I think he sees an uptick in targets. But the half point makes it close. It's really, I mean, I probably have almost back-to-back in my rankings in half. Let's see, Harris. I already said was at 23. Singletary is at. I hate him. Yeah, I have Singletary higher in PPR in half. It's literally back to back. I have Harris at 20 and Singletary at 21. So really close there. Sorry. All right, J-Lip, let's see here. AJ Dillon or Godwin. Man, I am Godwin's been dealing with injury, and that makes me so nervous. Dillon's going to get the full workload for what that's worth. It's kind of the one area that the Chiefs aren't super strong in. Granted, they can hold them down, but it's really the pass catching that boosts up the running backs and the big plays that kind of get the Chiefs in trouble. And I could see that being the case this week for Dillon, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Godwin being injured all week really just had me nervous. He's still holding the questionable tag. I'm waiting to hear more news on it, but he's more likely looking like he's going to play, which terrifies me. I still think I go Perry here, mostly because I think that they need that kind of big play guy. I know Perry hasn't really done a whole lot, but they need somebody outside of Olave to catch the ball, in theory. But I would definitely be leaning that way just because I think he has that opportunity. Oh, P. Ryan. It's not particularly close for me. P. Ryan's been getting in on a lot of touches, specifically third downs. He's a really good pass blocker, but he also continues to see some checkdowns and some carries and short yardage, which makes sense because that's kind of what he's really good at. So I would go P. Ryan, but understand you looking at Taylor. He's had some success recently. All right. All right, Shane. We'll see if we can get you an answer here. All right. Like I've been talking about, the potential shootout for and points chasing for the Commanders lead me to go Thomas here. And then I am going to go Cooper. I, again, like the upside a lot more. Dortch is going to be fine, but he doesn't have that potential to break 100 yards like Cooper does. So that I'm going to definitely lean that way and go with the guy that should be the wide receiver one. We saw Wilson have success with Flacco. I think Flacco actually has a much better O-line this year with the Browns. So if he actually has time and can get it to Cooper, who is that veteran presence on the team, could be a big week. I also like Njoku for that reason. So. All right, Paul. Let's see. It's close. It's still going to be Cooper, but then it's really a toss-up. Reed has been dealing with injury all week. It makes me a little nervous on him, but I talked about how the Chiefs have the cornerback, Jarius Sneed and McDuffie really do a good job in the slot and covering that one wide receiver one on the team, which I'm assuming they're going to think is Watson. And then which means Dobbs is going to be the one who's kind of struggling. Really leaves it open for Reed as the guy on the opposite side that isn't going to get the main usage. We saw it last week. That's part of the reason I loved Meyer so much last week, and he got lucky with a touchdown. But he saw that first or second drive. He saw 4 or 5 targets, got 40 yards, and then added a touchdown to it. But if you're chasing the upside, it's definitely Samuel. That game has a lot of potential. It's really hard to trust any just one player on that team. They really spread that ball around. Well, Hal does. So definitely tough. Again, depends on what you need. Downs is definitely the safe play, but I'm still playing Cooper. I just like the upside so much for him. But that I'm just so nervous that the Colts aren't going to have to do a whole lot, and they should be able to win this pretty easily. All right, Daniel, let's see. Unfortunately, we don't have enough an update. I'm probably going to roll out Singletary and Ingram, but I can understand if you want to roll out Achane. A lot of potential there in an easy game. It's terrifying. Purdy or Herbert? Purdy. Love the matchup a lot more for him. I think that's a much easier play too. So, also hate the weather for Herbert, and Herbert really hasn't been doing a whole lot. So, nervous for him. Hall or Ford? Going to go with Ford here. But honestly, it's close. Like the upside a lot more. No problem. Happy to help, Chris. All right, Dan, let's see here. Warren, Achane, or Moss? Golly. It's PPR. It's tough, man. I like them all. Probably going to go Warren. I think there's a lot of upside there. But it's really hard to sit Moss right now with the fact that he's going to have that full workload and a really decent matchup in the Titans, who he shredded the last time. But yeah, it's really between those two. And honestly, it's like I said, I think I go Moss, but Warren is just it's so close. Jealous of your wealth here because I'm struggling at my running backs. So this is going to be Ayuk. Goes great with your Purdy. Olave's been dealing with injury. I'm super nervous he gets hurt again. And then it's hard to trust the Ram right now. That whole offense is just very confused. Only person I really want to trust is Kyron on my team. Ooh. Going to go Pittman. He's the wide receiver one on the team, has a lot of opportunity. Minshew really likes him, so I would expect him to do well. I'm worried about the Broncos defense versus those two wide receivers specifically for the Texans. Absolutely terrifying about it. Hey, Joe, welcome. Mahomes or Stroud? Oh, going to go Stroud, more upside potential. And then going to go Ford. I like the idea of Brown, but again, it's so hard to predict how that team's going to end up going. I'm super nervous on it. And also don't like playing two players on the same team a whole lot unless it's just stacked, this could easily go in that favor. I'm just terrified of it. All right, Tamara, let's see here. Cup, Moss, Pittman, Mostert. Pick 2. It's going to be Pittman and Mostert. And then, yeah, I wouldn't trust Cup. Just roll out Pittman. Has a great matchup. I would go Pittman and Moss, but I don't like I said, don't like playing the two on the same team. And Mostert actually has a really good matchup. Probably the best matchup for running backs in the Commanders. So, going to lean that way. Hal or Kyler? Still going to go Murray here. I'm taking the safe play. If you want the upside, completely understand going Hal, but it's so much risk because he is so inconsistent in NFL terms. Pardon. But yeah. Hey, good morning, Rodney. Been a minute. Yep. Been there, done that. All right. So you're definitely going to be playing Evans. And then I'm probably going to still roll out Brown. I think he's the stronger of the two. I don't think you honestly go wrong. But if you want to play a little safer, probably lean Moss there. I want that upside of Evans and Brown. Oh, and you get third. So yeah, I'd go those 3. Yeah, works out great. 2 starters, huh? It's going to be Harris and Mostert. Like Hall, but again, I hate the weather for him, and same thing with Dylan. Dylan has just been really hit or miss, and honestly been more miss than hit. So I'll go with the 2 that I know have good matchups, and Harris and Mostert. I'm more worried that Mostert gets sat early, and Achane sees a handful, but I think Wilson's actually the benefactor here. All right, George. It's going to be Singletary and Brown for me. Again, I'm nervous on Achane. I'm not willing to risk it. If you want to, go for it. I'd much rather go with the safe floor that these 2 honestly get you. But just saying a lot at this point because I know what Achane can do. I'm just terrified of it. Kyler or Lawrence? All right, Brian. Again, depends on what you need. I think it's going to be Lawrence for me. I like the safety that he offers. Has a decent matchup. Going to have to throw it. But understanding you going with Kyler for that upside, it's just I have yet to see Kyler really have a whole lot of success, and I know that the death match for Call of Duty just dropped, and it's been pretty solid. So I'm curious if that's going to hurt him this weekend. Sorry, playing some narrative there, but yeah, makes me a little nervous for Murray. All right, Trisha, let's see. Oh man, I'm probably gonna go Puka just because I'm nervous McBride doesn't play, and I'd rather you have some points and no points, even if it hurts you. But I'm sorry, that's rough. As we talked about Thursday, I'm really sorry, guys. This has been just a rough year for fantasy. If it's your first year, apologize. It's been too many injuries. I talked about it at the start of the show. Even it is really making it tough for a lot of people, and is a lot less fun because you're having to work very hard to have any kind of success, and even sometimes that's not paying off. Creed, Now, is this a band or are you going with an Office reference here? All right. But outside of that, going to go. Golly, I don't like either of them. Think I go Achan just because he offers more upside. And Connor has not really been useful for the Cardinal since his return. Don't know if it's injury or what, but he doesn't look like himself. And until that changes and they start using him in the passing game, he actually did see targets last week, which was a plus. But still think I go with the guy who can really just explode in a handful of carries. All right. Easy. 036. Start one. Full PPR. Man, that's tough. Downs is definitely a safe play, but again, I've been talking him up, and I'm going to probably have to eat my words at some point. But I love Cooper this week. Joe Flacco likes to target one good wide receiver. I think that's Cooper. I think there's a lot of upside in this matchup, specifically against the Rams. I'm just nervous that Flacco doesn't stay upright for very long. But you want to chase it, I think that's the best way to go. All right, Trisha, let's see. Goff or Wilson? Yeah. I guess I should double check. I think the Lions are. Yeah, Lions are on the road, which always makes me worry for Goff. He struggles a little more when he's out. So I think I go with the floor that Wilson offers. I know the matchup isn't great, but he's going to have to throw, which is part of the reason I like Sutton so much this week and Pirine. But I think I lean Wilson just to make it a little safer for you. Because, yeah, Saints aren't great. It really depends on what Saints defense shows up, and that's like impossible to predict at this point because they really can go either way. So, but still think I lean Wilson to play it safe. No, I actually think the weather helps Brown. Because all it takes is one. That secondary is already kind of struggles for the Steelers, or not the Steelers. What am I thinking? No, it is the Steelers. So, but it's just that big playability. It's really hard to get away from. So I'd much rather roll with Brown here. But play it safe if you want to play Connor. I guess he just hasn't done enough. It's so hard to trust it. Because, like I said, he's saying if he's lucky, he sees 10 carries, and last week I think he saw 2 or 3 targets. That's not the role that we expected from Connor. He started off great, had good targets, and then it just hasn't happened yet. So I'm not sure he's 100%. Rather go with Brown, who I know can just explode off the page. All right, forced to pick one. All right, Rodney, let's see. That is brutal. I'm probably going to go Johnson here, but I understand you wanted to play if you want to play Sanders. The regime change that's going on in Carolina with the ousting of Reich could lead to more opportunities for Sanders, but I'd rather wait and see on that and just go with Johnson this week. I'm not trusting Pierce. He's not using the passing game, so. I have Moss ranked the highest of them, but it goes. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it goes Moss, Ford, and then Etienne right now. Let me check. Yeah, it goes Moss, Ford, and then Etienne for me in just because, like you said, I'm a little nervous on it. Love the matchup for Etienne, but I'd rather play one of the other two to be safe. No problem, George. Let's see. Last one. Oh, it's going to be Sutton. Godwin's been dealing with injury. Jerry Jeudy was dealing with injury. Gives a lot of opportunity for Sutton. So rolling him out. Start McBride or Laporta. Because of injuries, I know it's terrifying starting all three, but I think Laporta actually gets a boost. I'm worried about McBride just due to health, so I'm staying away from that. Manny Jordan, wide receiver, running back, and a tight end. All right. So I'm gonna go Samuel, then I'm going to go Achan, and then I'm going to go Farmouth. Like I said, nervous for both Watson and Dobbs. I'm sure one of them has a decent day, just not sure which one, and I don't want to risk it against the Chiefs. And then with Browning at quarterback, I'm nervous for Mixon. He's not really being used as anything more than a pass blocker, and even that's kind of not his area of expertise. So he's struggling. And then it's hard to trust Taysom at any point. So on the upside, I guess you can roll Taysom. I never hit on him. It's very hit or miss for me. All right. Ooh. All right. We're 20 minutes out. Golly, getting there. That's insane. Finally get a little bit of a break here. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good one. Logan Thomas or Taysom Hill would be Thomas. I really like I said, there's a lot of potential upside for it in that game. It's just hard to determine where the targets are going to go. Felt like we had one. I saw one in our Discord, and I need to pull back up. Oh, one of the guys asked McBride over Amari, and I can't do it because, like I've been saying, Trey's been dealing with injury all week. I'd much rather go with a Cooper. I think there's a lot of upside there. It's just hard to get away. Well, yeah. So the scheme change is what makes me terrified for Deontay. They started to use the middle of the field, which could benefit him, but until I see them actually using him, it seems to really help with Firemouth and Warren more so, and even Pickens as a deeper threat. But as for Kupp, he's still not 100%. It's hard to trust really any player not named Kyron Williams because everybody on the Rams have been hurt. And then for Reed, it's the fact that I believe that Snead and McDuffie are going to focus on Dobbs and Watson, which really opens it up for Reed underneath. It's also why I like their tight end. Sorry. I want to say Tucker Craft. Yeah. Which is why I like Tucker Craft again. Is that the next option because they do well against the number ones, but struggle on the depth portion and struggle against tight end. It's like the things that the Chiefs aren't great at is that underneath coverage because they really get drawn in on big wide receivers. So I think Dobbs and Watson are going to struggle while Reed gets that underneath work. I understand if you want to go with Johnson. It's just after seeing the change last week, it makes me a little more nervous for him. And Kupp has yet to do anything since week 7, week 8. So, all right, T. Let's see. What do you play, McBride or Taysom? Oh my gosh, you got me in a corner because I don't like either of them this week. I mean, at that point, I'm chasing upside. I'll go Hill. And just hope he scores or passes it to Olave for a touchdown. But it's terrifying. Carr's also been banged up, so there's potential with that as well. But it's really hard to trust either of them right now. So I'm gonna go with that. That's healthy and Taysom. All right, Drew. It's gonna be Sutton. Judy was dealing with injury all week. He did log a full practice Friday, I'm pretty sure. but I still think that Sutton's the go-to for Wilson. He's being he studied the tape, wants to be Michael Thomas. It's worked out for him. He's had a lot of success, only not scoring in 2 of the weeks this year. But Cup is continuing dealing with injury, and it's hard to trust any of the players right now that isn't Kyron Williams on the Rams. All right, Swift, Sutton. Oh my gosh. One, I'm jealous of this team. I'm probably going to go Sutton again. I think there's a lot of upside. Like McLaurin, but it's really hit or miss because Howell spreads it around. Downs is going to put up that consistent number, and I'm scared for Swift. Hurts likes to score, doesn't really give that option. And Gainwell is continually being used for some reason randomly throughout the game, both taking enough away from Swift that kind of hurts him. So also don't love the matchup this week. I'm nervous. This is going to be the most exciting game of the week for me, to see how the Eagles and 49ers go head to head. But all right, Dan, let's see. I do. It's still Ingram. Understand you wanted to play Laporta, but it's a really good matchup. And if Etienne remains out, like, it continues to be even better. Because you have that opportunity for a bunch of scoring from them, and they seem to actually enjoy that. And they are focused. The coaching staff and Lawrence have said they are trying to get Ingram in the end zone now because they realize that he hasn't scored this year yet. So be interesting to see how that goes. All right, Drew. It's going to be Sutton. Again, I'm terrified of the Rams. Never ranked them correctly, and I'm usually too high. So I've dropped them down, which means they're probably going to explode this week. But I can't bring myself to play them until I see something. The only one I've been right on so far has been Kyron. And surprisingly, last week, Higbee. And I didn't have Higbee high enough. So just how it goes sometimes. Bearwall, welcome in. All right, pick one. Ooh. That's tough. I mean, let's be honest. Browns is probably the safest option. Because I expect that game to be the lowest scoring of them all. Also trust that they are able to give better coverage. Outside of them, I would probably go Chiefs. Because, again, they do a really good job rushing the QB and guarding the wide receiver. Yeah, then it's really just a toss-up. Both all of these teams are ranked in top 10 or top 12 this week for defenses, with Browns being the highest just because of the lowest scoring and potential for turnovers. I literally have them 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, Dolan, let's see here. Full PPR. Reed or Godwin? I'm going to play Reed. Godwin's been dealing with injury. He's probably a safe play. So has Reed, though. I just think that Reed's going out because he's so explosive, and it doesn't take a whole lot for him to have success. Johnson, I'm nervous about this game. I would try and pick him up, but it really depends on who you have to drop to pick him up. Like, I wouldn't drop either of the two options that you have there to pick him up at this point, but it really just depends on that. All right, Marshall, let's see. Okay, so you're only wanting one. I'm chasing the upside here, and I'm going to go Hollywood. I agree not starting both Tank and Nico, and I think Tank is the right choice. But I think even with the horrible matchup, they both are probably still going to outkick Puka with their fantasy production. And then I like Brown because he offers the most upside. But that's where I'm leaning. Sorry. Can't help myself. Tamara. Okay, so it's Tamara. Thank you. Like, I've seen it so many ways and said it so many ways. So it's Tamara. I'm going to have to remember that. All right. I know. Yeah, it is. I get it. I'm weird. I like Stroud because he's a passer. Mahomes won't have to do that. He's going to be very reliant on the run this week. It's an issue for the Packers. Gives them a lot of opportunities, especially in horrible weather. Pacheco's been going crazy, seeing a lot of work. I'm expecting also a sprinkling of CEH in there as well. But it's hard to trust Mahomes because they can really dominate this game with the run and not have to do a whole lot, which we've kind of seen Mahomes have a lot of success. He continues to put up top 10, top 12 weeks. It's just Stroud has more upside. He's constantly been throwing for like over 300 yards and scoring twice, and that's really just puts him as a solid QB1. Even in this tough matchup, it's hard to get away from Stroud. All right, Pearson. Let's see. It's Sutton. Again, nervous about Puka. Don't trust it. I think there's a lot of upside. And Sutton continues to find the end zone, which is really just boosting him up. But with Judy kind of dealing with injury, I think there's a lot of opportunity here for Sutton. Moss or Warren? Golly. I have Moss higher, but it's honestly a toss-up. I don't think you go wrong. I have them both going over 100 scrimmage yards. Warren, I think I have for more targets, which kind of boosts him up, but then I have Moss scoring. I don't think I have Warren scoring. Yeah, I have him. Yeah, I have Moss barely ranked higher, but it's actually because he has more receptions. And they both score. So really don't think you go wrong there. Still jealous. Oh, I see somebody's having an issue. Give me a sec. All right, Dubs. Since you're struggling to comment, he gave me choose 3: Mixon, Kamara, Hunt, or Connor. It's gonna be Mixon, Kamara, and Connor. Okay, Sparkulets. Here we go. Sorry about that. Damian Pierce, Dearness Johnson, PPR. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna go Johnson. Pierce really isn't used a whole lot in the passing game, while Johnson is. At least in the limited sample size that we have. Hopefully that helps. Ford or Nico? I'm taking the floor of Ford here. Nico has the ability to go off. We continue to see it, but I still think I trust the safe play of Ford more. They're going to have to use him. They can't get away from him, honestly. He's a big part of their offense. So Benny. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go with Kyron. Sorry, just because he has more upside. He also has a full workload. I know it's the Chargers, but they've actually stepped up in the run. It really is dependent on if Stevenson gets passing work or not. All right, David. Let's see. Full PPR flex. Golly. Again, I'm going to go with the safe play here in Singletary. If you want to chase upside, you could go Rice. It's just I don't trust it. I mean, he saw one of the kind of a point that Mahomes got to him and trusted him to catch it. That over-the-shoulder throw was just a thing of beauty last week. But I still think with Schultz out, Singletary is kind of the beneficiary of that. And so I'd much rather trust that, especially with Surtain covering the main guys or trying to. That's interesting to see. Like Ty. Okay. Ty Tamra. Okay. This perfect. Love when I get some name. I'm going to write that down too. All right. Mostert, Waddle, Olave, or Steven. Golly. It's Waddle. Again, I don't think it takes a whole lot. If you want to play a little safer, go Mostert. That matchup is just too juicy. Like Olave, but again, but dealing with injury, I have to roll him out, but that's because my team is just riddled with them. So hopefully that helps. All right, Daniel, let's see here. Oh, I have Ridley ranked the highest, and then Puka, and then Williams, and then London. So I would go Ridley, but yeah, that team's a little more in trouble than what you're used to. So can't always have riches. Bren, okay. Full PPR flex. Ugh. I think here I'm actually going to go Puka. Talk about rough, man. That's PPR. I'm going to go with the wide receiver. Puka actually has been seeing decent amount of targets, and if he can see double-digit targets and he could easily hit double-digit points. It's tough to trust. I really don't like the other options, though. I wish Connor was being used in the passing game. I wish Williams was being used more often in the passing game. He's seeing a lot of the work, but they're really only using him on the first and second down, and kind of have to hope he scores. So, rough week for that. You're welcome, Tamara. Yeah. All right. Do you think Goddard plays? If so, him or Jawan? Of them, the safest option is going to be Everett. I don't think Goddard plays this week. If he does, it's not going to be in a massive role. He'll be on a snap count for sure. But I honestly don't think he does. So I'd rather play Everett. And then after that, I would probably go Conklin. Is how I have it ranked currently. Mostly because, again, Allen showed up, practiced one day. On Friday, had a full practice. He rested the other 2 days. This team is really beat up. They have to have somebody else. I'm hoping that it's going to be Eckler this week, but who actually knows? So, I mean, it really depends on you. I think there's upside for Love that isn't there for Russ. I think Wilson's just a safer play. It really depends on what you need. I'm terrified to play Love this week, but been wrong. He continues to show up in really big moments and play well, so could happen again. And Chiefs are struggling when it comes to their offense, and I think it's because of the loss of Bieniemy's finally hitting them a little bit and not having a dominant wide receiver. So I think I'm going to go Russ just because I prefer the floor there. Now, if I face DK and Lamb, and I'd be chasing it, but trust is a strong word. I believe in him, but I also believe he's hurt. So he's about 50% of what he normally is, and the fact that everybody else is also hurt isn't helping his situation. He needs a really good matchup, and I don't think that's this week. Golly. That's so close. It's PPR, man. I wish that I knew that Olave was fully healthy, because it would be an easy slam dunk. You should see all the targets, should have a massive day. But since we don't know that, I'd play it safe and roll Moss. Again, I'm nervous. I'm like I said, I have to roll out Olave. I've gotten lucky. I'm just worried that this week my luck runs out. I mean, it already kind of has. I faced 4 of the people playing on Thursday, and that's put me in quite the hole. I'm down 117 fantasy points. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. It looks like we're getting close to the end. All right, David. Let's see. Rice or Achane over Cup. Yeah, honestly, I'd play either. I think both have more upside. The one who's actually seeing more targets is Puka. He's just not able to do anything because he's also hurt. Higby is literally just being used in the red zone, and Kyron's being used everywhere. That's the only reason I like him is because he's being used in every part of the game. But all right, we're about to kick off. If you haven't already, try and join the Discord. Good luck in week 13. I'm actually about to post a review. I watched Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and oh my gosh, Will Ferrell, and it's a musical and it's very random, but I thought it was funny and it made me laugh. Good Christmas movie. Hope everybody has a good week. Best of luck. Praying for no injuries, guys. This is insane. Sorry it was so rough for you guys coming up. But hopefully we help more than we hurt, and hope you all have a good week. Back tomorrow for the waiver show if guys are still around. Outside of that, as always, guys, just remember, have fun and keep up the nonsense.